Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Arcadia and welcome to my planner. I'm a college student and recently I've been addicted to multiple K-dramas while I've been on my break. And one of them that I refused to watch was EXO Kitty because it looked boring. But I saw it only had like 10 episodes, so I was like, whatever, let me go ahead and watch it. And this video was long overdue. EXO Kitty is no longer trending, at least from my side. But I still want to talk about how much a disaster the show was and how good it could have been. But I want to primarily focus on the character Day because I feel so bad for him. Now, before I start, I do want you to know that there will be spoilers. So if you have not already finished the series, make sure you go ahead and do that. Okay? Alright, let's continue. So after completing the series in one sitting, like many people, I hated the questionable ending with Kitty liking Yuri. But after I looked at all the love interest, I noticed that they were all rushed and non-compatible, or simply there wasn't a lot of substance. In my opinion, I prefer watching a drama that shows enough chemistry between all the romantic interests so that the viewers can actually watch and just ship whoever they want to be together. And then rant online about how this person were supposed to be together, and then look at like their semi-obvious hints in the whole show, because that's what makes things fun. That's what makes it fun watching these dumb shows. But when the main character has little to no chemistry with all the characters in the show, and I'm talking about Kitty, and there's nothing but just, raunchy filler, everything gets boring really quick and it becomes a little too campy. But with all that aside, I want this video to be about Day, which is one of Kitty's love interests who resides in Korea, who was the top student at KISS school while being in the 11th grade. I want to talk about how his storyline was robbed and honestly non-existent, and just so you know, everything I'm about to say is my opinion, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, let's start with episode 1. In the first scene, we have Day and Kitty video calling each other, being all mushy-gushy. This is some regular stuff you would do at like the age of 16 to 17 years old. As the story begins, Kitty decides to go to Korea so she can be with Day, or in other words, just bang him. And if anybody disagrees, let's be honest, in the show we barely see Kitty mentioning her mother unless something bad happens to her. Anyway, when Kitty arrives at the school, the scene switches and we see Day, who's struggling with his tuition payments. And it seems like he's been going through this for a long while now. And it seems like he's been either hustling or already hustled to get some of his tuition paid, since the tuition woman commented that this happened before. But another thing that a lot of people commented on is that the series was a K-drama, but there wasn't a lot of Korean being spoken. So yeah, and it turns out like the actress Yuri, Jesus. Kitty's like half Korean or something like that, and she only knows a few words. But like somebody called the series an Americanized K-drama. But anyway, let's continue. The principal gives Dave one last chance to have his tuition paid by the end of the night, which is the same night of the welcome party that Kitty will be at. When Kitty walks into the party looking for Day, she bumps into Minho and Q, and they get into a quick little scuffle, and Minho's like, hey, let me do that. Hi, where did Day get that toot from? And then Kitty runs to Day, and they have that tra-la-la-la moment. However, a genuine reaction, especially considering the state of the matter, he should have been freaked out that his actual girlfriend is at the same party that his fake girlfriend is at. And of course, everything goes wrong once Kitty finds out the base level what's happening, and Day's like, Kitty, come back. Oh, no, wrong accent. Come back. And Yuri's like, we have an agreement. I paid your tuition. And I just want to throw this in there. The actress that plays Yuri is like 30 years old. And that just grosses me out. I feel like if you're pushing 30, you shouldn't be in teen movies. It's really weird. Anyways, episode 2. Of course, Kitty is heartbroken, and Day doesn't even try to run after her. And I know Yuri's holding him back, but if Day really loved her, he would have ran after her. I just want to mention how dead inside he is in episode 2, because when Yuri is talking to her friends, he's either just standing one place shifting around. Eventually, they leave from the party, and Day finds out that Yuri paid for his whole quarter, or year, I don't know. And he seems surprised when he only expected a couple bucks, and Yuri was like, now you really owe me. So at this point, Day has been manipulated by Yuri, and her rich girl philosophy is like, I paid a lot of money. No, Dan's hasn't. Now, my question is, how did Yuri and Day start this pact? did Day just crawl up to her and was like, "Feed me, sir"? I know Day is Yuri's mom's chauffeur's son, Yuri's tutor, and the top student of the school, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people forgot that, or maybe it was just me. But personally, I would have loved a little backstory on that, even if it was like a quick flashback to Day and Yuri making their agreement. I would have loved that. Because I'm like, does Day know that Yuri was gay? Because like I did see some scenes where he was like, "Oh, I love you," and then Yuri's like, "Yeah, as a friend, right?" or something like that. I don't remember now. I'll get to it later. Anyways, Kitty goes back into the party and talks to Dave's friends, and from the conversation, Kitty knows a lot about each of them. Thanks to Dave. Q, the track star, Minho, the himbo, or the egotistical guy. Jesus, I'm stuttering. Anyways, yeah. Now, for watching the show, I really want you to think about this. Like, how does Dave fit into that friend group? Like, I haven't seen any bro moments or any friend moments between those three, and they couldn't be more unalike. Now, I wonder if Dave's friends knew that he was struggling to pay his tuition. And when I think about it, Q was on Kitty's side the whole series, and he never really helped out Dave or even like checked on him. He was just like, "Oh, you're dead to me." Even at the end of the series, when Q's boyfriend cheated on the test, got the #1 spot, stealing from Day, which means he loses his scholarship, and he didn't even say, "Oh, I'm sorry, my bad." But we're gonna get another season, so whatever. Anyway, back to episode 2. There wasn't any bro moments or any friend moments between them, and I felt like if the series added to that, we could have seen more of like Day's personality other than somebody who just doesn't speak. But anyhow, continuing on, Yuri's like, "You're mine tonight, you can make up with Kitty tomorrow," and Day's like, "Okay." Kitty confronts him again at the party, and then she's like, "You're a cheater, blah blah blah," and Yuri's like, "No, you're his pen pal." And at that point, Kitty showed love, but once again, Day doesn't say anything, he just breathes. Literally just stands there breathing. Now that the party's over, Day's friends are like, "Who, what, when, where, why in the world did you give it Gary?" And Minho points out Day's suit and was like, "You little scammer, did Gary get you that suit?" And even though Minho is the harsh voice of reason, he's like totally right, because like that brings up my other point. Is like, did Day's friends know that he was struggling financially? Especially since Minho did comment, "Where'd you get that expensive suit? Like, you're broke, dude," or something like that. And then Minho's like, "You weren't even in a real relationship with Kitty." And from the comment, I had like secondhand embarrassment, because I was like, did Day only consider Kitty as like a saucy pen pal? Or in my opinion, the story would have been better if Day was like a jerk. It was like, "Kitty and I are just friends," or like, "Kitty means nothing to me, me and Yuri are gonna get serious," or something like that. I don't know, just to mix it up a little. Anyway, he has a conversation with Minho and Q, but mainly with Minho. Q really doesn't say anything. But they have the conversation, and they cut to the clip where they find Kitty in the room, and then the next day, Dave wakes up and he finally tells Kitty that Yuri and him are in a fake relationship, but of course she's already gone. Drama. And in my mind, I'm like, Dave could have told her that the same night, but for drama. Going on, Dave finds Kitty and says some cringe crap. Quote, "I was looking," oh god, I'm doing the wrong accent. "I was looking all over for you on this campus. I know something that'll make you stay." Kiss, kiss, kiss. And of course, the kiss gets interrupted, and that's the end of the episode. But we meet Yuri's father, who's going to use Day to better his image, make him sign an NDA, and start an internship under his hotel company. Okay, that's the second episode. Out of breath. But I'm gonna speed through the last few episodes. Okay, episode 3. After Day signs the NDA, he breaks up with Kitty in fear that she might expose the operation. Considering that he did tell her some secrets about his friend, and then she exposed that, he was like, "Nope, can't do this." Which is, good reason. But also, once again, he should still be freaked out that his long-distance girlfriend popped up out of his school. He's like surprisingly calm. Anyway, episode 4. We see Day in his internship only for a few seconds at the Han Hotel. And it seems like Day actually wanted to work, but instead His only instructions were to sit quietly. And also, are we not going to mention that Minho found a website called Sleeping Creepers and that Kitty's old ex roommate uploaded a video of her? No? Because I will. Minho is weird. Her roommate is weird. That's a whole case that should have been addressed, but of course, I don't know. I don't know, really. But yeah, and episode 4 was really sad to see like Day actually wanted to work, because I feel like we eventually see through his financial hardship in the series, and how I mentioned in the beginning of the video that it seemed like he's been hustling to get his tuition paid at this nice school, probably to get into like a top university in Korea. But going on to episode 5, Day and Kitty bunk together, and it seems like he's trying to repair things with her in a friend way, but he's pretty miserable, and it's kind of adorable, and I did feel bad for him at this point, because Kitty did come all the way from America to Korea to see him, and then I don't think he really explained. No. I feel bad for him because he was under contract, under a whole NDA, trying to make money for himself to stay in the school. Anyway, going on. Episode 6. Episode 6 was the funniest episode to me. In this episode, we see Day and Yuri have like a really cute friendship vibe, and I was honestly confused why his friends Q and Minho weren't boosting his mood, considering all the stuff they was going through. But I know Q had his own little boyfriend thing going on, but I rarely recall a moment, once again, where Q asked if Day was okay. But he's just been on Kitty's side the whole time. And from the episode, Day seemed to be more emotionally mature than Kitty, but just under a lot of pressure and very introverted. On top of that, Yuri was manipulating things behind the scene, ruining their possible relationship with each other. And at this point, they should have reconciled, but that didn't happen. But over the Chuseok, the Thanksgiving event, I think, Yuri met Day's parents, and he didn't know about Katie's breakup or Yuri's breakup or Yuri's relationship with him and all that crap. But Day's dad, oh dang, I said parents, he doesn't even have a mom. Like, that was an extra piece of drama that they didn't even address. But Day doesn't have a mom. He lives with his dad and his sister, little sister. His sister is broke, I guess. Well, his family's poor, even though they have like a pretty nice place, in my opinion. But they don't have a lot of money. And then suddenly Day has this internship at a hand hotel, and oh my god, it's just a whole lot. But like, I feel like Day's dad should have had like a conversation with him, been like a voice of reason or something. But that's on the writers. I'm not gonna get into that. Anyways, now we're on episode 7, and Day and Yuri do the little whack breakup, even though he's still technically under contract. I'm pretty sure a kiss does not break them. And I do want to mention again that Day's dad and sister don't know what's going on. And in episode 7, Day did say he saved up enough money, so he doesn't have to depend on Yuri for his next semester to be paid off, which is good, but so sad. And I say it's sad because at this point I do have sympathy for Day, because, he's going through all of this and he's only in like the 11th grade, and his long distance girlfriend just popped up out of nowhere while he was just trying to get his tuition paid and all that crap. And he doesn't really have any help. None of his friends came to back him up. He's kind of doing this on his lonesome. But anyhow, episode 8, he's purposely hiding details from Kitty because every single time she asks him about what happened, he beats around the bush. But they kind of reconcile at the little camp thing, and he's like, I know you breathe, I'm not the same guy you thought I was, and then he says, I love you, and they make up or something like that. But moving on to episode 9, Minho had the biggest reason, or he was the only person that really deserved to be pissed during this episode, because when Kitty was like, oh, I have feelings for someone else, Dave was like, I'm gonna kill him. And he literally ran up to Minho and jacked him up. And this is why I said I didn't see any friendship or really like a lot of bro moments between Q and Minho, but the fact he just ran up to him and was about to kill him That was crazy. And Q was nowhere to be seen because basically he's like, his character doesn't really matter. He probably was just there to meet the diversity quota. But in episode 8, he said, I know you're worried that I'm not the same guy you thought I was. But when I saw this scene when he was literally about to kill Minho, I was like, whoa, maybe he's like a total jerk. But of course, with the writing, that immediately died down. And then Kyu's like, oh, I have feelings for Yuri, not Minho. And that was crazy, because, like, why Yuri? That's, like, out of nowhere. And, like, a lot of people excuse this and saying, like, oh, that happens when you're at the age. But no, it doesn't. It's crazy. You flew from America to see Day, fell in love with Minho for a hot moment. Then you fell in love with Yuri, who was manipulating your whole relationship behind your back, stole a necklace that you gave to Day when his mother died. Okay? A whole lot of crazy stuff. And then you fall in love with Yuri, the most evil person in this whole series. But, going on. Running out of breath here. Episode 10. Kitty drops a sexuality bomb on him, and then he's like, why did we get together again? Which is a good response, because for real, all of this for what? For you to end up with Yuri. Well, she didn't end up with her, of course. But, gosh. But after all this chaos happened, Day ended up losing his scholarship. But as soon as he sees that, he's like, oh, Kitty, and like kind of skims over and sees where she scored. Well, she did pass, but she's still getting expelled from the school, which I'm glad. But oh my god, out of breath. Let's take a second. Okay, like I said in the beginning, all the side characters had poorly developed storylines. Even if we take Minho, he was dating a K-pop idol. His mother did tarot, and she was like in a different country, so obviously has some kind of mommy issues. And then he was the Korea boo who broke up with him when he finally decided he wanted to be in a real relationship. Then we have Q, who doesn't even seem to like Ding, but he was in a relationship with this guy who was having family issues, across seas, and was going to leave the school, so he cheated on the test to stay at the school. And of course, Q doesn't tell Day, his alleged friend, that his boyfriend cheated on the test and took his #1 spot and his scholarship and all his opportunities for life and everything. Oh my god. And then who else am I forgetting? Yuri, who had like a toxic family. Her dad was like left out of the story, even though he's the one that made Day sign the NDA contract. And it feels like they were just trying to force something between Yuri and Day, whether it was to be a friendship or relationship, but it was not it. But I feel like Day got robbed the most, because I feel like he didn't get developed at all in the series. He was still the quiet guy who didn't have the backbone. Because if, 2 parts, his girlfriend came from a whole nother country to see him at her school. He didn't know this. He should have been freaked out. Then, after all the chaos he went through, he did not end up with her. In fact, he ended up losing his #1 spot and his scholarship, and losing his girlfriend to the girl that manipulated him and everything. It is so chaotic and poorly written, because for me, I would personally enjoy to see Day as the bad guy, or as a guy who was also being manipulative. Like I said, when he made the pact with Yuri, nobody saw what happened on the series, so I think it would have been really cool if you could see him manipulating Yuri to expose her and making her pay his tuition in order for this and that to happen, and him not being close with his friends. Could have been because he was a bad person or something like that. I'm just feeling like they could have added so much more into the story, and they could have developed him as a character, but they really didn't. And he was just robbed. And this is a rant video about like poorly written series, while this video is also poorly ranted about, but you get my point. Day deserved much more. Day needed a better story development. He needed more character arcs, because it seemed like he was supposed to be the main love interest, but that didn't happen. But thanks anyhow for watching my chaotic video about this chaotic series, about these chaotic characters. Please have a good day. Like this video, comment, and subscribe.